Yo guys, what is going on? And welcome to another non-stop Harry vlog, where I'm bringing you a vlog from Europa Park, but I'm actually not at Europa Park at the moment, and that is because when we were stopping to charge, we actually found a massive big wheel at a random shopping centre in France. So I thought I'd take you along for the ride on this to start the vlog, and you'll be seeing all the content from Europa Park and Voltron tomorrow. It's going to be such a good time. So we're off on the big wheel, and I can't really bring you much information on this big wheel because actually there's not many stats or information on the manufacturer, height, etc. But from what I can tell, just from an estimated guess, is that it looks to be manufactured by Mondial, and it's around 200 feet tall, and that's a pretty good height to get some cool views from, so I'm looking forward to this. So Strasbourg, France, actually a really nice pretty area, full of countryside and this random shopping village down below. Actually, it's a really nice place to stop and full of a load of nice restaurants. If you're ever on your way to Europa Park and have an electric car and need to stop somewhere to charge, this is definitely a cool place because you can ride the big wheel, have a bite to eat, and then make your way to Europa Park from there. So in this large building right in front of me, you'll notice possibly, I don't know if my camera's picking it up alright, but there's a big sign that says Speed Park, and in there is actually indoor go-karting. Now I said earlier that this place has a load on offer, but indoor go-karting just brings it to another level. Honestly, if you don't stop here to charge, if you've got an electric car on your way to Europa Park, you're missing out because it's a really good place. So down below me here is actually the main shopping village, and this is the main walkway to get to all your different shops and food outlets. And the way to describe this place, probably best, is if you've ever been to an outlet centre back in the UK, it's pretty much a French outlet centre. But actually some of the stuff they have on offer here is actually better than what some of the UK outlet centres have to offer. So just really nice place to stop. I'm really impressed with this place so far. If the big wheel's too high for you, if you're afraid of heights, there is always this little carousel to check out if you want to. We just come off the big wheel there, and that was really good. It didn't deliver the best views from the top, but you know what, because we were stopping by, we thought we might as well do it, and it was a really good bit of fun. So the car's fully charged now, so we're on our way to Europa Park. We'll be there in about an hour, and we'll see you when we get there. I'll give you a nice tour of the hotel room, and we're going to grab a nice bite to eat from the Bell Rock restaurant. And then obviously tomorrow we've got the big day that is riding Voltron for the first time and experiencing Europa Park. So we have arrived at Hotel Bell Rock. Now I'm really excited to stay here because last time we stayed in Hotel Colosseo and it's absolutely lovely. So I was really excited to try out the other amazing hotel offerings here at Europa Park. And once we're inside here, I'll let you know how it is, but I'm expecting great things from this hotel. Stepping inside Hotel Bell Rock for the first time. Whoa, look at this checking in desk. This looks absolutely stunning. So here's a look at our room in Hotel Bell Rock. It's a really lovely room this. It feels a lot more cosy than Colosseo did, which for this time of year is actually a really nice feature to have. So we've got a nice double bed down here. Got really nice bunk beds there that are shaped like boats, which is a really unique feature. And as we come in here, now entering the bathroom, so you can see down here we have a nice big basin and we have a nice shower in there. And if you're wondering where the toilet is, that's in its own separate room, just here. All in all, I'm really impressed with this room. It's really, really nice. Looking forward to spending a few nights in here. Yo guys, we made it to Europa Park and I am so excited to visit here because I haven't visited here since July 2023, and you might think that's not a very long time, but they've actually added 2 new attractions, including Voltron the which I am so excited to try out. Along with that, we've also got the new mine train coaster to check out, which tragically caught on fire back in summer of 2023, and in 8 months they've managed to rebuild it and reopen it. German efficiency at its peak, and I love it, and I really can't wait to check out what this park has on offer for 2024. We've also got Traumatica to check out, the Halloween event here, and from what I've heard, it is an incredible Halloween event that's up there with the likes of Halloween Horror Nights, so I'm so excited to check out what they have on offer there as well. So come join me for this vlog at Europa Park and it's going to be a blast. So down this midway they've got amazing Halloween theming, and I've heard from the locals that this park has actually been outfitted with 180,000 pumpkins. That is mind-boggling, the amount of pumpkins they have, but based on the size of the park I can really see why they need that many. So we're entering the Italian section, which I'm hearing from the locals has actually got another sort of new ride for this year, and it's because their haunted house, which is very similar to the likes of Haunted Mansion at the Disney parks, has actually had a full overhaul for this year due to it last year actually been not in the best of conditions, let's say. I heard there was theming falling apart and animatronics that didn't work, so they've gone in there, they've done a full refurbishment of it. I've actually never experienced the attraction before. It's one of the ones I missed last time we were here, so I'm really excited to check that out as well. Now I love this middle section here at Europa Park, or as some of you might call it, Epcot. And in that big Epcot ball is Eurosat Can coaster, a really fun indoor family coaster that I'm really excited to get on at some point during our visit. And they've actually had a new addition to the Can coaster this year, which is Phantom of the Opera Coastiality VR experience, which I'm really excited to try out because last time we did the VR experience it was a space theme. We are now entering into Croatia, the new themed area to Europa Park for 2024, which is also home to Voltron the And I've never experienced anything like Voltron before, and from what I'm hearing it's got such unique elements and amazing pacing, and it's just such a complete theme package, so I'm beyond excited to try out this attraction. So I've just come off the incredible Voltron Nevera, and wow, that is a good coaster. Absolutely love that. It is slam packed with elements from start to finish. It's got amazing pacing. It's got some really unique elements like the bounce track and beyond vertical launch. Honestly, if you haven't ridden this already, you need to, because it's just a world-class coaster. We also got a front row ride, which in my opinion is the best row on this coaster, just because you can see the track unfold in front of you and some of the elements are taken really nicely in that row. So if you come here and get lucky with the front row, you got a good ride. I see Silver Star over there, the park's B&M hypercoaster. Make sure to get a ride on that later on today. Now I'm going to go for a ride on Woden, the park's 2012 GCI wooden coaster. Now I can remember this being my favourite ride last time, and actually my favourite wooden coaster of all time when I last rode it. But since then I've done Mystic Timbers, so it should be interesting to see how this compares. So next up we have Blue Fire Mega Coaster. Now this ride opened here in 2009 and was actually the first thrill coaster that Mack ever produced. And since then there's been a bunch of Blue Fire clones that have opened up around the world. But I think this one still remains my favourite because of the theming and incredible rock work. So just come off Blue Fire there, and that was really good because it's a really smooth, fun coaster, and the rock work and theming around is really nice. You get a really good head chopper on the last roll, and that last roll is one of the best inversions I've ever experienced because the whip through there, you just don't see it coming. I actually really like that coaster. That's probably my number 3 here at Europa. So next up at Europa Park we have Piraten in Batavia. Now this is the park's boat ride, similar to Pirates of the Caribbean at the Disney parks. Now from what I can remember, the theming in here is absolutely beautiful and it had an Asian theme. But I do remember liking Pirates a little bit more because I remember this being quite short and only having the one drop. So we just come off Piraten in Batavia there, and that was a really good ride. I do still prefer Pirates of the Caribbean because of the extra length and more drops. However, that theming and scale of sets in there is absolutely incredible. That is a must-do when you come to Europa Park, honestly. It is probably the best dark ride here. I'm about to go on the best dark ride ever created, Snorri Touring. I remember this being really fun last time. Let's go for a ride. Just come off Snorri Touring there, and that is a really cute little ride. That really enjoyed it. The practical sets in there are really well themed, and they even have a nice little screen section, which was really cool. It's one of those big like dome screens, and the track actually moves up and down, so it feels almost like a motion simulator combined with a dark ride. I mean, it's really well hidden here at Europa Park. If you manage to find it, then do it, because it's really fun. So this is Europa Park's Scandinavia section, and when the tragic fire happened in 2018 that burnt down Pirates of Batavia, they completely rebuilt this area and made it into this beautiful Scandinavian section. And actually, having visited Gothenburg, it looks so lifelike around here. I'm making our way to Eurosat Can-Can coaster, which I'm really excited to try out. So now heading on to Eurosat Can-Can coaster. Now I can remember this being a really fun indoor coaster last time we did it, so I'm really looking forward to getting back onto this. So Eurosat Can-Can coaster, that's a really good fun little family coaster. That's definitely one of my favourite indoor coasters because the soundtrack and the theming throughout is really nice. And it's also got a pretty intense layout with a couple floater airtime pops, which really come as an off-guard moment. Really enjoy that coaster, and I'd definitely not skip on this one when you're at Europa. We are now going on a dark ride, which, correct me if I'm wrong with the pronunciation, but it's called Madame Frendulich. And I think I can remember this last time. I think it was a dinosaur birthday party themed dark ride, but should be good to check out. I think it was a bit of a children's ride, but we've got time, so we might as well do it. So, the Granny Dinosaur Birthday Party Dark Ride. Yes, you heard that right. They have a ride that is themed around a granny and dinosaurs and a birthday party. And actually, it's really cute. It's a really good little dark ride for the kids, that one. And the theming throughout's quite nice. It also has some really nice smell pods. It's a good ride. Now we are taking flight on the park's flying theatre, Voltron, sponsored by Eurowings. Now I can remember this being a really good flying theatre, similar to what we did in Flyover Iceland. So I'm really looking forward to getting back on this one. Way! It's an A320neo. Really well themed in here. So, Voltron, really good flying theatre that, but I don't like it because they left out the UK. Not good as a big patriotic person, but it is a very nice ride, and the scenes in there are really nice. They've picked out some really nice locations in Europe, and most of all, it smells absolutely gorgeous. It is a really good flying theatre. It's not my favourite flying theatre. There's more storytelling flying theatres out there, like Fly at the Sky, like Legoland. I would take over this one. However, it's a really nice ride here at Europa Park. It's one of the better dark rides here, and I definitely recommend doing it. Next up, Silver Star. Now, I can't remember this being my weakest hyper, but at the end of the day, it's still a B&M hypercoaster, so it's still one of the best rides on park, and I can remember having some good floater air times. Let's go and check it out. Okay, so Silver Star, that was actually a really good ride. Yes, it is still my weakest hyper because, especially after the ones we've done in America, like Pandemonium and Diamondback, but it is still a good ride. It still has good floater air time, and it even has a hammerhead turnaround, which is my favourite type of turnaround on a hypercoaster. So it is still one of the upper tier coasters here at Europa Park. It's just not the best hyper that's ever been built. So that's gone Arthur now, which is the park's suspended family coaster, which of course is another Mack product. And yeah, I can remember this being really good. I can remember it being a very nice family coaster. Now, since we last did this, we have ridden Dragon Gliders, which is meant to be the superior attraction. I'm still really looking forward to getting on this because all of these Mack suspended family coasters are really good and really well themed. So we just come off of Arthur there, and that was really good. It's just as good as I remember. It isn't as good as Dragon Gliders, however it's still a really fun ride, and it's definitely one of the upper tier classes here at Europa, because the theming in there is amazing, the ride system is so clever, and it's just overall really fun and enjoyable. I really like that attraction. Time to go on another new ride now, and this is Alpen Express. So we also didn't do this one last year because this is another ride that got destroyed in the fire, but they have of course rebuilt it, and it looks like a really fun little power coaster, so I'm really excited to check this one out. Alpen Express, now that's probably my favourite Mack power coaster we've ever done, purely because you go in and out of the rockwork, you get amazing interaction with the log flume, and there's really good theming throughout, and it's also got a really fast paced layout. It absolutely clears Runaway Mine Train, and I'd love to see something like that come to the UK. So next up is the log flume. Now this is actually a semi-new ride for this year because this was another one that got destroyed in the fire, and they actually rebuilt it with some new theming. Now we never tried this one last time we were here because half of it was burnt to shreds, but now it's operational and we're really excited to check this one out. So we've just come off the log flume there, and that was really good. I didn't actually get too wet on there, but the theming throughout the new section that had been redone was really nice. They also had some really cool lighting effects in there, which I really much like to see. That was probably one of my favourite log flumes we've ever done. Really beautiful area, this Italian area. Really pretty round here. And now we're about to go on, correct me if I'm wrong, Gleischerglosch, which is the park's haunted house ghost train, a bit like Phantom Manor at Disneyland Paris. Now, I've heard this has had a big overhaul for this year, but I highly doubt it will be as good as Phantom Manor because it's on a Europa Park budget, which, don't get me wrong, a Europa Park budget is still a lot higher than any UK park budget, but a Disney budget is something else, which is why their rides tend to be a little bit more higher quality. But Europa Park's getting there, so maybe this will be better, we shall see. We've just come out there of Gleischerglosch, or however you pronounce it, the Ghost Train, and yeah, it wasn't as good as Phantom Manor. I wasn't expecting it to be, but it was a really cool little dark ride. It's probably the second or third best dark ride on site, and it had some nice theming in there, including a nice little like fiery dragon scene towards the end, which was interesting. So yeah, enjoyed that, and it never gets a queue because of the continuous moving loading platform, so I definitely do it while you're here. Time for another coaster now. This is Pegasus, a Mack family coaster. So, Pegasus is good, little fun family coaster right there. It is a clone layout, but that was the first of its kind, and yeah, has some decent force, little floater airtime pops, really good. Now you're probably wondering why I'm in my poncho. Well, that is because I know it's October, but we're about to go on a water ride, and that is going to be through this Trojan horse here, Poseidon, the park's Mack water coaster, which was actually the first water coaster ever built as the prototype. Okay, so Poseidon, good little water coaster, but she hasn't aged well, bless her. The track profiling is horrendously off in places, and it is a bit rough. But the last drop is profiled so badly that it almost has a sky rush kink, where you actually get decent airtime, so that's definitely the best element on the ride, but that's a one and done for me here. Really nice skyline in this area of the park. You got Silver Star and Poseidon right next to each other. Looks really, really nice. Also beautiful blue skies out today. We've picked a really good day to come here. So we've just come off not one, but two back-to-back Voltron Nevera night rides, and wow, that is a night ride. I think that's going up in my rankings now, probably even above Steel Vengeance, to be honest. That coaster at night with the lighting package and those Tesla towers all lit up, they look like an octopus on top. It's so cool. Honestly, such an amazing coaster, and we've really picked the best time of year to come for those night rides. That's absolutely incredible. So we're now making our way towards Traumatica, the park's Halloween event for the evening. Now I've heard they got some really good mazes, as I said earlier, so really excited to check this out tonight. This German main street is so pretty at night. So I'm super excited for this. We're now entering Traumatica, the Halloween event, and there's already a man with a chainsaw. In we go. Oh wow. First maze of the night is going to be Studio 13. Now I know nothing about this maze, but I'm assuming with the name Studio it's going to be something like a movie theme but gone wrong. Maybe something similar to trailers at Fort Park, but we'll find out shortly. So, Studio 13. That was a really good maze. It actually sort of reminded me of Stranger Things in terms of the theming, and it was set on like an old movie set with loads of different actors. Now it was a jump scare orientated maze, and I will say I got some amazing jump scares. And there was even a chainsaw scare at the end, which are the best types of scares. So all in all, that was an incredible maze. Really good theming, amazing scares, definitely one I'd highly recommend here at Traumatica. Now heading towards Unknown. Now I've heard really good things about this maze, and I've heard it's got like a sci-fi theme. So really excited to check this one out. I've heard it's actually the best maze here, so we shall see about that. I'll point out that Unknown is the hardest maze to get to out of all the ones we've tried to get to. You have to go right around the back of Pegasus, but we've arrived now and excited to experience what this has in store for us. Done Unknown, and that was really good. It had a very sci-fi-esque theme, and it also had big tanks with like aliens in them. Again, another one that reminded me of Stranger Things. They obviously love Stranger Things style theme in here. But yeah, it was a little on the short side, and I would have liked a few more scares. But all in all, the theming and the smoke effects and the overall package was really, really good. So I really loved it. Doesn't this look spooky? This is the next maze up tonight, and it is a fun house. Now, if it's anything like a Joker's fun house with scare actors, I think we're going to be in for a treat. The fun house. Now that was an interesting maze. I'd call it silly scary, that one, as in their actors have been really silly but also scaring you and touching you at the same time. Now they will only touch you if you have a touch pass, of course, but we opted to go for the touch pass option, and I will say they were a lot more hands-on than survival games. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed that. They definitely go to another level here in Germany on their mazes, that's all I can say. I'm gonna go on Tarot House, and I don't really know what to expect from this one, but it looks like a proper traditional haunted house, so hopefully we get some good jump scares in here. Oh, Tarot House. Probably the best one yet for jump scares. Actually got some really good ones in there, and there was also like a mirror maze in there, so I lost complete sense of direction for almost the entire maze. Now if you're claustrophobic, you're not going to like that one, but my god, was that a good maze, and probably the most scary just because of pure anticipation. Let's go on Murder Dome now. Now I can definitely see this one being very, very jump scary, and maybe even some chainsaws, but we shall see. So just come out of Murder Dome. What a unique maze. I've never done anything like that before. So you had to hold a machine gun and you had to go around and shoot different targets throughout the maze, which actually gave you a score at the end. So it was sort of like a shooting ride, but with scare maze props around you. Really unique, never seen anything like it before. Was it my favourite maze of the night? Absolutely not. But was it enjoyable and fun and something different? Absolutely yes. So I would definitely not skip on that if you come to Traumatica. Next up, we have Cinema, now showing Rise of Eleanor. I've no idea what to expect from this one, but probably something like trailers, given it's a cinema with a cinema theme. And knowing Traumatica, it's probably going to have some Stranger Things-esque theming. But let's go inside, check it out, and see what this one has to offer. We just come out of the cinema there, and that maze, again, was very much like Stranger Things, carrying on with the Traumatica theme. But I got some really good jump scares in there. It was on the shorter side, but the theming was really good, the storyline was amazing, and the acting quality was also incredible. So that's one of the better mazes we've done tonight here at Traumatica. Really, really enjoyed that one. On the last maze of the night now, and it's going to be called The Hill. I've no idea what this is going to be about, but I presume it's an outdoor maze given it's set on a hill. I'm at the hill there, and the storyline was some children had gone missing in the woods, and it is your job to find them. And very jump scare heavy maze. Again, outdoor maze like I presumed it would be, but it did have some indoor scenes as well, and there's a really cool strobe effect towards the end which I really enjoyed. It's probably the weakest of the mazes we've done, but that's not to say it wasn't still amazing, because it was a really good maze. So Traumatica does not have anything weak, so definitely check out this event if you're ever here at October at Europa Park. We're about to go on this, which is called Brain Shocker. I'm hearing this is like a VR experience, and apparently it's really worth checking out here at Traumatica. So really looking forward to giving this one a go and seeing what it's like. Brain Shocker, and that's one of the best VR experiences I think I've ever done. That was really, really clever. It's almost like they put you on this trackless ride system, and the actual show scene on the VR was really good. It was like you were some like granny or mummy in a wheelchair and wheeled round like a hospital or Hawkins lab, to say. That's how it felt most similar to. And it very much felt very Stranger Things-esque to carry on with the theme here at Traumatica, with like big tentacles coming out at you. Very, very clever. Very, very clever. So that brings us to the end of our night there at Traumatica, which also brings us to the end of our day, an epic Europa Park day. Really, really good day today, and Traumatica, incredible event. It's sort of like German Tullies, but with slightly less mazes, so it's more time efficient to get everything done. And if you're coming to Europa Park around Halloween time, you can really not skip on that event, because it is just incredible. The mazes were exceptional in there. Honestly, you just have to do it. That brings us to the end of our day and the end of our visit here at Europa Park, and we had a really nice time. Voltron Nevera is absolutely incredible. If you haven't ridden it already, you need to come ride it because that is one of the best coasters in Europe, top 3 easily. So yeah, absolutely incredible park. This place is on par with Disneyland. It's one of my favourite parks in Europe and we had an incredible time.